Hi, it's Anna with Create Your Future. In today's video, I have an amazing success story for you from one of my clients who manifested moving to her specific person's country, getting rid of a third party, and dating the guy. Before I read her email to you, if you would like to book a coaching session with me, you can do it from the link in the description below. And remember that we are giving away 3 free sessions. The way you enter the giveaway is by telling us in the comments something that you have manifested using the principles that we teach here at Create Your Future. So let's start. Dear Anna, I'd like to share my success story with you, and I hope that it will inspire other people out there who are struggling with their manifestations. My SP and I lived in 2 different countries, and because of COVID, we weren't able to meet for 1.5 years. I affirmed, did my mental diet, and visualized for almost a year, and finally my manifestation to move to this country arrived when I stopped focusing on the problem. He was very happy to hear that I was moving here. He prepared a welcome gift for me at the airport, and he started to plan immediately to meet up. When I was about to land, he texted me that he couldn't meet me the day after, I started to feel anxious and think about the third party. Guess what happened? He replied that the day after he should meet up with her. I brought her back to life just with my insecurities. 3 weeks before this, he told me that he wasn't interested in her anymore, but my fears made her appear again. When I realized that, I decided to use one of my beliefs about him to my advantage, and at the same time, I continued to affirm and visualize the end in my mind. My belief is that he's very jealous of me. So I told him that another guy wanted to meet me the day he was planning to go out with me. And it was a true story. He got crazy. He called me at midnight asking me about the other guy. The day after, he didn't call me, and I started to overthink again, thinking he could be with the third party. That's why he wasn't texting me, etc. But at the same time, I affirmed, saying that the third party already left and found someone else. And more importantly, I kept the faith that I am the creator of my reality and everything I want has to manifest. I also prepared myself to meet him later. The day went by and no news from his side. At 11:30 p.m., he called me and asked me if we could meet up now. He slept almost all day because the day before he was working strange hours. So not because he was with the third party. Of course, he was over the moon when we met. We spent such wonderful 4 hours together that I could never have imagined before. It is so true when they say that your manifestation will come to you often in the most expected way. You just have to keep a clean mental diet and have faith in your power. Thanks, Anna, for all your support during these months. You gave me hope when I almost lost it. Thanks, Amanda, and all wonderful Create Your Future coaches for always cheering us up. I will be back soon with another success story. Yes, you will. So this is such an amazing story. Something that I want to say to all my viewers is that when I read success stories from my clients that they manifested their specific person, sometimes there are some of you out there who thinks that they started affirming and the day after they got married. It might sound like that because you just hear one email and the last part of the manifestation. So I think a lot of people get discouraged that why is everyone able to manifest their specific person and it's taking such a long time for me. Just know that no one manifested their specific person in one day. Everyone goes through a period of struggles, and it's normal because we have so many insecurities that we have to deal with before we can get to the relationship of our desire. If you don't have insecurities, if you don't have limiting beliefs about yourself, about relationships in general, if you haven't had past negative experiences that have created limiting beliefs, then it will go quicker. But often when we manifest a specific person, we deal with a lot of personal stuff. They bring up all our insecurities. And it looks bad. It feels bad in that moment, but it's actually a good thing, because especially when you know that you are manifesting, you know about limiting beliefs, and you know what your thoughts can do, it's good that those old insecurities come up so that you deal with them, you clean them out of your system so that you don't have to keep reliving the same unpleasant situation over and over again. So as you heard in this story, she was actively manifesting to meet this guy for a year. And we worked with her self-concept. We revised old situations with her exes, old unpleasant stuff that made her have fears about the same thing happening again, because my ex did this, my ex treated me like this, and also COVID. This COVID situation created so many limiting beliefs for people. It's I can't fly to another country. I can't find a job because of COVID. I can't do this because of COVID. I'm home alone in full closed walls because of COVID. I can't go out, meet people. You need to realize that circumstances don't matter. COVID is a circumstance. You manifest through your awareness, which is the all-knowing God, and God doesn't sit there and think, no, I can't give you your SP because there's COVID. There are no good flights to this country. So try to think this way, that whatever is on your way is a circumstance, and circumstances don't matter as long as you keep your focus on your end goal, just like she did. And her manifestation started to move when she realized that on one hand she was affirming, on the other hand she was questioning. On one hand she was affirming, on the other hand the rest of her focus was on the problems. Third party, different country, him not texting, he works, so sometimes they can't reply, and we make up stuff. We make up assumptions based on our self-concept, by the way. So this is why I always work with self-concept also while working on the end goal, because self-concept can be on your way. It's not your self-concept that manifests your specific person. You can have a bad self-concept and manifest a relationship with your specific person. But the problem with that is that you are taking your bad self-concept with you to that relationship. So he wouldn't reply. He would disappear from social media, and my client would immediately jump to the assumption that, oh my God, maybe he's with her again. And if everything that didn't go exactly as she had imagined, as she had planned, because you need to remember the how it happens is not in our control. And it's okay. You don't need to control how it happens as long as you get your end goal. But she would affirm, and she would think to herself, okay, I have been affirming for 3 days now. He has to text. And if he didn't text, she got anxious that, oh my God, maybe third party again. So there was this story with this third party for a long time until I got her to focus on her end goal. Sometimes a lot of stuff can happen in the middle, and sometimes, you know, third party can be the reason your specific person chooses you. So don't judge the middle. And again, I know it's easy for me to sit here and say, don't judge the middle. Maybe they're with another person, but it's helping your manifestation while you're suffering. But just realize that your assumptions manifest, and also your assumption about the situation manifests. So if your assumption is that he's with her or she's with him, and that's because they don't like me, I can't have them, that's an assumption. But you can look at the same situation from a different angle, that maybe that third party will make them realize that they want me. See how that changes the whole situation. And always remember that your assumption manifests. So whether you assume the one thing or the other, you will be right in both cases. So choose your assumptions wisely. And also, whether you live in different countries, in two different countries, whether there's a third party, whether there's COVID, it doesn't matter. As long as you keep your focus on your end goal, and her end goal was to meet with this guy. They had never met, by the way. They had met on the internet. They have been talking on and off for a long time until she got herself to focus on her end goal. Then things started to change. By the way, she doesn't mention it in her email, but she even got job offers in this country. And things started to happen. She moved to the country. And also, as you could hear from her story, and it happens a lot of times I think this has happened to almost all my clients, that they manifest something, it starts to move in the right direction, and then something happens in the middle that makes them anxious. That why is this happening again? Why isn't he calling? Why is there a third party again? Just realize that the bumps on the road are your old assumptions coming up to the surface so that you can get rid of them. Try as much as possible to think like a creator, to take responsibility of everything that happens to you. Even though it looks bad, if you take responsibility for that, you take control and you take back your power. So if this is a bad thing that happens, bad meaning not something that I like, and I created it, it means two things. The most important is that if I created it, I can recreate it. I can create something else. And another thing is that I created that with my assumptions, and now I'm manifesting something else. So if I keep my focus on my end goal, I'm going to get there anyway. And this bad instance in my manifestation process is probably a cleansing process, cleansing period, because always remember that all your old assumptions are already a rooted belief in you, and they have to manifest. So when you start focusing on your end goal, which is a completely new story that you haven't had before, it pushes out all the unwanted stuff so that you can get rid of them, so that you can have your, in this case, relationship. With her, she has been struggling with a third party story for a long time, with exes, a lot of old stuff related to third party. So it had to come up when she started to manifest a beautiful relationship. She has to get rid of that. See all the bumps on the road to your manifestation as cleansing. When you start focusing on something that happened in the middle, you risk to bring your focus from your end goal to that, and you just keep manifesting more of that. No big deal. It's just making the process longer. no matter how bad of a situation you create, you can always take that, go from there, and still get your manifestation. It's just making it longer, and you don't want that. You want your relationship as soon as possible. So instead of starting to get anxious about something that just happened in the middle and jumping to the conclusion that, oh my God, maybe I failed, maybe I can't manifest, maybe I'm doing it wrong, realize that maybe it's because you are doing it right. You are getting rid of it. It has to go out of you somehow. And somehow is by manifesting it and getting it out. So whatever happens in the middle, assume that it's because your manifestation is on your way, because assumptions create whatever you assume, whatever you keep telling yourself is going to manifest. So look at the 3D, look at your physical reality, realize that that is old. That's my old assumptions. This is my old belief. I don't have to put more energy in this. My thoughts create, so I can either dwell on this, or I can dwell on my end goal some more. So do like my client, basically, no matter how hard the situation and how long it takes, keep persisting. It's a process. It doesn't come right away. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't want to limit it for you. I don't want to create limiting beliefs. Maybe it does. But if it doesn't, I say maybe it does. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. If you assume that you start manifesting today and you get married tomorrow, if that's what you want, if that's an assumption, if that's a belief, it has to manifest. But what I'm saying is that if it doesn't happen quickly, realize that there's something blocking it. There's some assumptions, some limiting beliefs, some old stuff that is blocking it. And you can work with it, get rid of it, and get to your relationship or your manifestation of whatever it is you're manifesting. And it has to come if you keep your focus on it. That's why I always say persisting is important. It's one of the hardest things, but it's one of the most important things. It's one of the hardest things because it happens just like with her, that a third party all of a sudden shows up, and that wasn't your plan, of course. And you need to realize, this is a limiting belief. I work with it. I get rid of it. I focus on my end. I really hope this was helpful. I really hope that this will inspire you to keep persisting. Don't give up. You are doing it for yourself. You are manifesting your relationship for yourself. You are manifesting your dream job, your body, whatever it is you're doing for yourself. So take it as a self-love. Take your manifestations as a self-love process and do it for yourself. And when you do it for yourself, you want to persist. Once again, if you would like to book a coaching session with me, you can do it from the link in the description below. And remember to enter the giveaway, and have a beautiful day.